early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
First carry for Darius Geis. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. It's still a nice play by the defense.
And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Ali operating from the gun. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller able to drop him for a loss of 12. And it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there, 75 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They start on the ground with Geis. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Geis with a carry on second down, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Now Ali to throw. On 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. This will be fielded at the 17. Ooh, with a juke. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run past midfield. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Leopard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hurry up, here we go.
And here's Ali on 3rd down. The catch made by Miller. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Khalil Mack in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the Saints, they've now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. So as they take it over, we step aside.
No. Check. Patriot.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
run it on the toss. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his prime.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Looking to throw. Ali. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch the shit. Stay open.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. McManus's point after is good. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. If second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes
and the Broncos get there and take him down. Khalil Mack able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Green 39.
Now Ali from the gun, he'll throw. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go. Watch him now, Barney. Watch one. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Gun! Come on, let's go. Gun!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos add on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So we've reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
They'll try and throw for it here. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Thomas, the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 39, 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by one more. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Ali now looking to throw on 2nd down. It's caught by Treadwell. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Green 39.
Ali to throw on third down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Khalil Mack. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. He gets it to Thomas. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Check. 3 down, 3 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
No, check, Patrick.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Switch.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. McManus's point after is good. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Lucky 56.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back to throw. Ali. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And this is a blowout so far. And Bengals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Set. Green 39.
Now Ali to throw. Operating from the gun. Miller on the catch over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
All right, here we go.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Buying time to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Pushing his way inside the 40. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A huge play there for Denver. 44 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And here's Ali. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. To the right side, it's Kelsey. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10.
Gone. Leopard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Buzz, be ready, be ready. Motion.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now Ali on first down. They'll check it down to Geis. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. Around the NFL 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And very little issue in that one for the Redskins, opening their lead a bit further. A win would be their first of the young season. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. Fielded about a yard deep. And now running right through it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Green 39!
Ali now. From the gun, he'll throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go now.
Ali throwing on third and long. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off right around the 43. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And partner, this first week, this first game that we